Hey, what's chillin' villains? It is day 2 of Inktober, so I did another Copic inked illustration. This one, I really like the concept of it, but when I started to flesh it out, I hit some roadblocks. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this illustration. For the supplies I'm using this fine liner I got at Michael's. It was just like in a pack of 20, and there's different colors, so I use that. And the illustration, sort of this young lady, and she got impaled with like crystals. I don't know about you guys, but when I have like nightmares, a lot of them will be about like my teeth falling out or like my eyeballs getting like injured. And I was reading that sometimes that means like you're insecure. It's like you're self-conscious about things. And I thought, since crystals are a very like beautiful thing, it would be interesting to sort of have this beautiful wonder of nature, and it makes you quote unquote ugly, or like I deforms you. I really don't like using that word. I feel like it's not the word I should be using in this context, but that's the word I could think of. If you guys could think of a different word that's better for this situation, let me know. Crystals are these very beautiful things. I know some people use them as like healing instruments, I guess you could call them, healing stones. And I just find that very interesting, because oftentimes people, when they're insecure, they'll find different ways to fix their insecurities, and sometimes that's not necessarily the most healthiest of things to do. And they're using like something else instead of getting to the root of the problem and why they're feeling insecure and why they're feeling that way. I know some people believe that they have healing properties, but there's a reason you go to the doctor nowadays and you don't go to like a crystal shaman. It's sort of like the snake oil. Yeah, that's a good term to compare it to, like snake oil. Like, this one thing will cure all, when not necessarily. Like, if the crystals make you feel better about yourself, then that's good for you, but you know, you should probably see a therapist if you're feeling a certain way. When I use an eraser with a lot of like dust, I like to wipe it off with a makeup brush, just because if you like blow it or like wipe it with your hand, you get like oils and water and stuff, and it's no bueno. I wanted my Inktober's to be like consistent and have a certain theme. I thought, oh, let me make them all like monochrome and like brown, because I thought that'd be really interesting. And like the darkest color would be black, obviously, as I'm doing in the hair. But I don't think this particular illustration was necessarily the best decision to do in monochrome, because like I like having a color scheme and making it complement each other. But when I started to do different things that weren't like the skin and the hair, well, the crystals, obviously, that's like the only thing in here, they kinda looked a little like phallic. I feel like it has to do a lot with the color I use, but they just look like little dicks. And I find it really funny. Like, my boyfriend, I showed him, and he's like, I feel like the crystals would have stood out more if you made them a different color. And I was like, you're right, I think they look like penises. And he starts laughing, because like he didn't notice until I said something. So now you guys probably didn't notice, and now you're just gonna be able to see just like a bunch of like dildos just chilling out on my illustration. I tried to add like red on the crystals, but I didn't like the way it was like blending in, because obviously a nice bright crimson scarlet red isn't gonna blend nicely into like a beige color. They're too drastically different, so I gave up halfway. I actually really like this illustration, and since it's a Copic drawing, it's not necessarily like quote-unquote finished, so I will probably paint this with my acrylics or go in it with color pencils or something, because I just feel like certain mediums aren't for finished products. I know it probably sounds crazy, but that's just how I think of stuff, because you know, the Copic sketch markers, you use them for sketches. This video is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, since these are supposed to be like daily videos, so the next few videos probably won't be like 7 minutes long like this one. They'll probably be like 3-4 minutes, 5 at the most. But this is basically it for this illustration. I'm gonna show you guys some like close-up of the drawing, and I'll see you later, Gators. Well, I do appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this video. I do have a Patreon if you want to have early access to my videos. My tier starting at just $1 a month. I also have other social media platforms, which of course are free. So you can follow me at Instagram at Cassie.Frass, Facebook at CassieFrassArt, Twitter at CassieFrassies. I'll see you later, Gators.